Hey guys, Soulard here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Collectible Frost King Wave Endless Winter Black Adam. Now before we get started here, let us first take a look-see at both the front and the back of the packaging. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now before we get into the meat and taters of this review, the Endless Winter Black Adam does come with a collectible trading card, which follows the trend of this Collectible Frost King Wave, where we're actually getting artwork from the source material on the collectible trading cards, which, if you guys know me, I much prefer that, because chances are I'm never going to get around to reading this comic, so it's nice to have some artwork to get an idea of what the art style's like. So there's the front, there is the back, but not only does he come with that, he also comes with these two really cool lightning effects, which you can kind of fudge over his arms, much like the Lobo hook. So to save time, I'm not going to do that now. Stay tuned to the final thoughts part of this review for that. Or, just look at the URL again, because, well, it's the same pose. But last, and certainly not least, he also comes with the standard hockey puck stand we're used to seeing in this line. Again, I don't mind having a bunch of these. I know some people aren't crazy about them, but I think they're alright. Taking a closer look at Black Adam here, I'm not going to lie. This is my favorite figure of the wave so far. I really like this figure, and considering he is on the same buck as my number one worst figure of 2021, the Infected Shazam, I just had umpteen amount of QC issues with that figure both times. I bought it twice. Both of them had issues. The first one had two right arms, and then the second one had legs so loose he couldn't even stand, and some bits broke off him because of the way they shove him in the box. This guy doesn't have any of those problems. It's amazing to me that the second version is the superior version, or the second use of this mold is the superior version, much like Thalog from the NECA Gargoyles line. And one thing to note, at least on mine, he doesn't appear to have a severe case of side-eye. That, or your boy just can't notice it because he can't see 2 feet in front of him. But at the end of the day, I'd be lying if my eyes were perfectly centered all the time either. Granted, I have an excuse, but, nobody's perfect, right? But, yeah, look at this figure. I love the proportions. I love the sculpt, even though it is that Infected Shazam sculpt, which was kind of weird on that figure, but it seems to kind of come together here. Come together right now. Hold me. The Beatles reference. That's not common. It's usually Billy Joel. But at any rate, as far as articulation on this guy goes, his head will look side to side. A little bit up and down, not crazy. He has some tilt as well. Again, nothing crazy, but it does work. Shoulders go out to the side, back down, all the way around. He has ball joints in there, and he's got the best kind of ball jointy butterfly joints of the wave so far. They work really well. He has a bicep swivel that works pretty good. Double joint at the elbow, which again works pretty good. He does not have the Cliffs of Dover per se, but they're still not great as far as the trenches and whatnot going on in there. He has ball hinge wrists, which, do my eyes deceive me, but does he have fist hands? Holy crap, he has fist hands. A character that doesn't hold accessories has hands that don't hold accessories. Holy crap. It's amazing. It's a miracle. I like the sculpt on him, too. It looks like he can punch your freaking lights out with those things. Torso articulation. He can crunch back as part of the course with this multiverse line. He can crunch forward as not part of the course with this multiverse line, because holy crap, he's got more crunch than anyone else in the wave. He does have some rotation in there as well. You can turn his waist as well as his upper torso. He's got the kind of soft diaper piece going on. But that said, the diaper piece does restrict the hips quite a bit due to the way it's cut. If this was cut a little bit more at a right angle, you could swing these hips all the way forward. But as it stands, they just kind of go that far. But Black Adam's not really the most agile guy in the world, so I don't really need him to do that. If anything, he just kind of floats around and has annoying little spheres that circle him so you can't hit him in the mobile version of Injustice Gods Among Us, which, might I add, he does look like his Injustice counterpart, which tickles all kinds of boxes for me. Ticks all kinds of boxes for me. What am I talking about? But at any rate, he does have a little kind of thigh quiver in there, but you're not going to get much out of that. He's got a double knee that works okay. The knees aren't the best on this guy. The knees on the rest of the wave have been pretty solid, but this guy's the worst offender of that. He doesn't have straps that'll break off his legs, though, so that's a plus. These are nice and soft, and they're pretty much up against the body, so the leg. So you're not going to break those off easily, anyways. He does have a hinge in the foot, though, which you can move a little bit. It's hidden well, but it is restricted because of that. He does have a rotation as well as a rocker and a hinge in the toe, which follows suit with the rest of this wave. He's got one that's tight and one that's kind of loose, so that's kind of whatever. But he also has peg holes at the bottom of the feet for the hockey puck stand if you want to use it. But I know this is not the only Black Adam figure we're going to get this year. We're probably going to get a movie one, which will look a little bit more like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, because that's who's playing him in the movie, right? And I'm sure that one will be good. We'll probably get a traditional Rebirth style one. I imagine this one has some stylistic changes to fit the Endless Winter story arc, but really, if you want a Black Adam figure that's comic book based, this is your best bet right now. For this multiverse line anyways. Of course, if you got all the Mattel stuff, you get the Mattel one, but at the end of the day, Black Adam's a guy who gets his powers from the Egyptian gods, and that, again, ticks all kinds of boxes for me. I love the Egyptian gods. They're some of the coolest characters in all of mythology. Same with Shazam. He gets his powers from the Greek gods, and that's pretty cool. Hopefully we'll get a Rebirth Shazam, maybe, to go with this guy, or to go with a Rebirth Black Adam. That would be kind of cool. I would also like to see a new Dr. Fate, because Dr. Fate is also supposed to be, I guess, the antagonist character, quote-unquote, in the Black Adam movie. So it'd be cool to get a Rebirth and movie version of Dr. Fate as well. One of my favorite DC characters, might I add. But with that being said, let's now move on and take a look at some size comparisons. First up here is Black Adam next to a couple of Injustice 2 figures, The Flash and Dr. Fate. And while I know I said he looks more or less like his Injustice 1 counterpart, this is all we got right now. Next up, and for those of you keeping track, here he is alongside the only other figures I've already taken a look at from this wave, the Endless Winter Batman and Wonder Woman. And last, but certainly not least, we have our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus, the 11th Spawn, who as usual, towers over everyone. So with that being said, time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and if I'm being 110% honest with you, gotta tell you, this is probably my favorite single-guarded DC Multiverse figure I've gotten so far this year, and I know I haven't been buying as much as I used to, mostly because the QC was a little bit for a time, but considering that this Black Adam right here utilizes the same buck as the very figure I had so many QC issues with and doesn't have any of those issues, is telling me that the Todd father is stepping up his game. He is improving the quality of his product, and that is really awesome to see. With the exception of some tight joints I had to free up here and there on this guy, it wasn't nothing I couldn't handles. So for that and that alone, if you want a Black Adam, a pseudo rebirth style Black Adam that is, for your DC Multiverse collection, look no further than this guy. And I'm sure if you're not into this particular look, we'll be getting a couple more Black Adam figures throughout the year because he does have a movie coming up starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that's really, really good when it finally comes out. Looking forward to that because it also has my boy Dr. Fate in it, and you can't go wrong with Dr. Fate, right? So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you are so inclined, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. If you haven't already, please hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions. But as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.